So today I want to show you how to work with the science notebook. For me, the science notebook has become the most important tool for teaching science. Well, it's basically nothing else than an empty notebook. It has blank pages in it, and the students, the pupils, they can start filling these pages. Their own ideas, with their own questions, with their own experiments, observations, conclusions, final reports. They can do the homework in there. Everything said in school, everything said in class, all the excursions, everything goes in here. So this is the compendium of knowledge that they create. There are no loose sheets flying around everywhere. Every time I have a new class, every time we start a new semester, I hand out, for every kid, I hand out one of these notebooks, an empty notebook. And that's how we start. The first thing you do is you put a title in. Titles give structures. You can flick through later and you see, that was that topic, this was that topic. Okay, cool, very obvious. Also, you put in a date. A date determines when the entry was made or the observation was made. This is very important. You also put in immediately a location, the name of a town, for example, or even better, the coordinates. These days with mobile phones, you can go to Google Maps and you get the coordinates immediately. Later on, when you want to revisit the place, you can simply enter the coordinates in Google Maps and you can get to the precise location. So here's an example. We went to France and there was a rock wall in a small town, and the rock wall was covered with plants, with various kinds of plants. And we made a recording of these plants. So here we have the date, we have the coordinates, we have a title, and we have the drawings of the plants. So with the drawings, obviously they should be as precise as possible. If you can, you figure out what species they are. Or if you can't, may as well just write moss species or weird plant species, and then later on you can try to determine what it was. Also, you should provide a scale. So this refers to 7 millimeters, or this refers to 4 centimeters, so you know approximately how big was this plant. Let us look at some more examples. Here, the pupils had to design a balloon machine, which is basically an air balloon which is attached to a string. You blow it up, you let it go, and whoo, there it goes. It's not a trivial thing. So they had to make a detailed drawing, and they had to analyze how the balloon machine could be improved. So they have to analyze each and every part. They write this down. You can also do stuff like this, a table. So you take your ruler and you draw lines this way, that way, and you have a beautiful table, and you can enter data in this table. So here we measured, I think, pendulum frequency. Yeah, we measured pendulum frequency, and later on we did a graph like this. Yeah, we changed the length of the pendulum, and we tried to figure out the curve. Also, just on the blank page, with pencil drawing, you have to work very precise here. And this is also a beautiful exercise for the kids, working precise if you don't have anything else than your rulers and your pencil. You can draw maps if you want. An example from my personal notebook when I was in Sweden and did an excursion along the shoreline. You can draw processes. Here I was in Thailand and observed how a lady made baskets from bamboo. So she had these really thick bamboos and she cut that with a special knife. Everybody knows now that at this specific place and time, this happened. So this is a cultural record, a scientific cultural record. Here we were at the glacier in Iceland. Here's the coordinates. We did some temperature measurements of the ice surface. We looked at the landscapes around the ice. We looked how the ice flowed. All of this goes in the science notebook. You can take these notebooks back in your office. You can tell all the pupils, okay, hand them in at a certain date. And then you can look through them and you can evaluate the work of your pupils. And you can even give a feedback. For example, in my case, I would use a green pen and then give them a short feedback. What was good? What can you improve? So, in effect, the science notebook is a neat way to to collect your personal knowledge about the world and to have a real deep connection with the universe.